Alright, so today I'm going to give you new videos since the sound quality and everything was so bad on the others, and I wanted to combine a few things. So we're going to talk today about surface area and volumes of prisms and cylinders. So you're going to know the difference between faces and bases, lateral area and surface area, how to find lateral area, surface area, and volume. So faces are the sides, okay? So they're basically the sides. The bases are the parallel sides. It's not necessarily what it's sitting on, but it's the parallel sides that are the shape. So, and faces are rectangles, okay? So faces are rectangles. They don't necessarily have to be parallel, although they can be, where bases are parallel with the shapes. Would be volume. Okay, these formulas are all from the formula sheet that I gave you that's going to be available for you on testing. Some people do formulas other ways. Notice there is no formula for lateral area for a rectangular prism, okay? Because of the definition of the parallel rectangles, there could be 3 different lateral areas for a rectangular prism, or 2. So we don't ask for lateral area of a. Okay, so this is a triangular prism. Prisms are 2 parallel shapes. It can be any shape. It can be a square, a rectangle, a triangle, a trapezoid, a parallelogram, whatever it is, and they're connected by the faces, which are your rectangular sides. So the lateral area is h times p, where h is the height between the faces. So that's your h. And then the perimeter is the perimeter of the shape. So if this side, this is a right, actually, triangular prism. So the hypotenuse is 5, and I've got one of the legs is 4. We know that is a right triangle, so we can find the third side with a Pythagorean theorem, or you guys have done enough of these to know that if one side is 4 and the hypotenuse is 5, it's a 3, 4, 5 right triangle. So this leg is 3. So our height in this case is 7, and our perimeter is 4 plus 5 plus 3, which is going to be 12. Okay. So the lateral area is just going to be 7 times 12, or 84. Okay, and it's 84 square feet, or feet squared. Okay, now notice that the surface area, part of that formula is the lateral area, which makes sense because the lateral area is the sides, and then 2b are the area of the bases times 2. So big B is always the area of the base. Okay. So to find B, because it's a triangle, B is 1/2 base times height for the triangle, or 1/2 of 3 times 4 base height, or 6. So now my surface area is the lateral area, 84, plus 2 times the area of the bases, so 84 plus 12, which is 96 square feet. So we write it that way, or we write it this way. All right. I want to, at very least, I know you guys are calculator happy, I want to very least see what formulas you used and what you subbed into those formulas. Okay. So now I have a regular hexagon, and I want to find the lateral area and the surface area of the following figure. So my lateral area is height. That's the height between the bases and the perimeter. So 8. And then the perimeter, since this is regular, if one side is 6, all of the sides are 6, and there's 6 of them. So the perimeter is going to be 36. So our lateral area is 8 times 36, which is 44. Okay. And then the area of the base is 1/2 the apothem times the perimeter. And we already have the perimeter. It's 36, and the apothem is labeled as 5.2. So 1/2 of 5.2 times 36 will give me the area of one of the bases. So 5.2 times 6 times 1/2 is 15.6. So that is the area of one of my bases. My surface area is, again, that lateral area of 44 plus 2 times 15.6. And 15.6 times 2 is 31.2. So 44 plus 31.2 is approximately 75, or is 75 2/10 square miles. Right. Now volume is a different story. The volume of any prism is base times height. So it's the area of the base times the height, again, which is the height connecting the bases. So my height in this case is 8. It connects my trapezoidal bases. So 8. And then the area of a trapezoid, remember, is 1/2 the height times the sum of the bases. So in this case, 1/2, and that's the height of the trapezoid. Don't get them confused. So 3.5 is the height, and then my bases are 7 and 10. Or, I'm sorry, 7 and 3, which adds to 10. So it's 1/2 of 3.5 times 10. So the area of the base is 17.5. And then the volume is 8 times 17.5, which would be 140. And now it's cubed. Volume is always cubed, so cubic inches or inches cubed. Okay. Now in this figure, it's a composite figure, meaning it's made up of 2 different figures or more. So it's made up of a rectangular prism, right in here, and 1/2 of a cylinder. So the volume formula for the rectangular prism is length times width times height, and then for a cylinder, it is pi r squared h. Okay, so if I take the rectangular prism first, the length is 6, the width is 6, and the height is 4. So I'm just going to multiply 6 times 6 times 4, and that's going to give me 144 for the rectangular prism. So in this example, the radius is made up of this bottom here. So the diameter is 6, which is going to make the radius 4. So 4 squared. And then the height is this. That's the height of the cylinder. So if I turned the cylinder on its side, its height would be 6. Okay. So we're going to get the volume of that equal to 16 times 6 pi. And 16 times 6 is 96. So 96 pi. So that is the volume of a full cylinder. This one's cut in half to be laid on top of that. So we're going to divide that by 2 and get 48 pi for the volume of the cylinder. And so the volume of the total figure is 144, the volume of the rectangular prism, plus 48 pi, the volume of the cylinder, half of that cylinder. So when you go to do this, read the directions. If this is in terms of pi, you're done. If it's asked to be rounded, then just plug it in your calculator just as it is, 144 plus 48 pi, use the pi button, and it's 294.796 meters cubed. All right, last example. We have a surface area of 359 square inches, and we want to find the height of this rectangular prism. And there's our formula for our surface area. So my surface area is 359, which is equal to 2 times the length, which is 11, times the width, which is 9. Okay, so there and there, plus 2 times the length, which we said was 11, and times the height, plus 2 times the width, which is 9, times the height. And then you've got to solve that equation. So 359 is going to equal 2 times 11 times 9, which is 198, plus 22h plus 18h. So if I combine my like terms, I'm going to get 40h. And then if I subtract 359 minus 198, it's going to give me, 161, and divide by 40 is approximately a height of 4. Right, so today we looked at the difference between faces and bases, how to find lateral area, surface area, and volume. Have a math-tastic day.